Hi, my name is Jenny and welcome to my channel, JK Star 88 Reader. So today I'm doing a Friday Reads. These are books that I have been reading this past week, books that I am currently reading, as well as books I would like to read this weekend and into the next week. So let's get to them. So the first book I have to show you, it is The Intuitionist by Colson Whitehead. I started reading this book back in September, and I was able to get to the end this past week. It took a long time to read this book, even though it is a fairly short book. I've been busy with other things with my life and academic career, and so I've been trying to read last year, even though I found myself busy with other things. And so I was finally able to get to the end of this book this past week, and I enjoyed the story as well as the writing. Even though nothing much seems to happen, I enjoyed getting to know the city through the eyes of Lilla Mae Watson, the city's first black female elevator inspector. And so this story follows her as she becomes the first black elevator inspector in her city, and she gets involved with the city politics as well as trying to make herself a place for herself within the old boys club of the elevator inspector union that she now is part of. And so yeah, I enjoy hearing her seeing the city through her eyes, through her professional life as well as in her own personal life. And so hopefully after reading this book, I am looking forward to reading more by this author, Colson Whitehead. The next book that I have to read is actually The Underground Railroad, which Colson Whitehead won an award for, and I would like to read that book before seeing the television show that is now on Prime Video. Yeah, so that's it for this book. The next book I have to show you, it is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I started reading this book this past week as part of research into the theme of city life. I'm actually doing a writing project on the theme of city life, and I am looking for inspiration wherever I can find it. And so I selected Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman to read this month, as also as part of the Buzz Readathon reading challenge that is taking place online. And a lot of the information for the Buzzwordathon can be found on Goodreads, the Goodreads group page. And so the idea of the Buzzwordathon is to for each of the 12 months of the year, there will be a prompt will be made, and based on those prompts, readers are to select book titles that have those words in the book or somehow indicated in the title. And so for the month of January, the prompt is to read a book with the words who, when, what, where, and why. And so since this book it has the word where in Neverwhere, I've selected this book to read. And luckily it also has many of the themes I'm trying to research, which is city and urban life. And so this book takes place in London, and it also features the London train system, including a transit map in the inside flap. And so I look forward to reading more of this book and see how I find it. I've read books by Neil Gaiman before. I think I read Stardust as well as I don't exactly remember the other title I've read by Neil Gaiman. Oh yeah, I read a couple of the comic books in the Sandman series by Neil Gaiman. And so yeah, hopefully by reading more of the back catalog of books by Neil Gaiman. I also am trying to anticipate the rumors that there may be a new uh, television series based on the Sandman comic books. And so, yeah, I hopefully will get to read this book in the next week or so. So, another book I started last year, it is Motorcycles and Sweetgrass by Drew Hayden Taylor. This is a book by an Indigenous author in Canada, and this book is a book that I started last year and did not get to the end, but hopefully I'll find time to read it this month in January 2022. And so this book, it follows the life of one older woman. She is the chief of her native reserve, and one day while in sickbed, a handsome stranger arrives at the reserve on his motorcycle, and there is something mysterious about the stranger, and so this book is a look back. The In this book, the older woman, she looks back at her life and the life she has led over the years, and so I hopefully I'll find this to be an interesting story. I enjoy looking at the cover with the green background and the raccoons on the cover. So yeah. So the next book I have to show you is my library book pick of the week. Even though I have many books to read from my own personal collection, I also enjoy going to the library to pick out books to read from the public library collection. And so this is the book that I have chosen to read this week. It is The Map of Salt and Stars by Zane Kokardar. Hopefully I was able to say that name correctly. It is a language that I am unfamiliar with. And so the author has decided to use a different name from the one that is on the cover. His name is now Zane Jakardar. And so this is an older edition of the book that I have that has his older name. And so I decided to read this book, which is focuses on the lives of two young girls as they navigate life in different time periods while living in Syria. So there is the story of a young Syrian refugee in modern times, and then there is a story of another young girl hundreds of years ago while living in medieval times in Syria. And the story or the book has been compared to The Kite Runner, which is a book that I found to be an important read, which I read years ago. So instead of focusing on Afghanistan, which is what the Kite Runner was about, this book is looking at Syria. And so I look forward to reading this book and seeing what I make of it. So yeah. I have one more book to show you. That book is Anything Goes by Ethan Mordden. So the subtitle is A History of American Musical Theater. I am interested in reading more nonfiction titles this year, and so this is the first title that I decided to go with for the month of January. I have seen a few musical theater productions near where I live, but I would like to learn more about the history of musical theater in US and Canada, as well as get to experience musical theater through the eyes of the author, as there is still so much I have not been able to see or hear myself, as I don't live near Broadway, and so it'll be great to experience the musical theater genre through the author's eyes, whether they are primary or secondary sources. And so yeah, I look forward to reading this book and to reading all the other books that I mentioned on this video. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you've seen some book titles that interest you. Please like and subscribe to this video to see more content, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!